In the heart of a forgotten village nestled between misty hills, there stood an ancient mansion known as Blackwood Manor. Its towering spires pierced the gray sky, and its windows, like hollow eyes, watched over the desolate landscape. Legends whispered of the manor's cursed past, tales of vanished guests and eerie melodies drifting through the night. Locals dared not approach, for fear of the shadows that danced behind the cracked glass panes. One stormy evening, a group of friends, Lena, Jack, Sarah, and Tom, decided to uncover the truth behind the manor's haunting reputation. Armed with flashlights and a sense of adventure, they crossed the creaking threshold, unaware of the horrors that awaited within. The air inside was thick with dust and decay. Floorboards groaned beneath their feet, and the scent of mildew clung to the walls. As they ventured deeper, the silence was broken by a faint, haunting melody that seemed to emanate from the very walls. Drawn by the music, they discovered a hidden room adorned with antique furniture draped in white sheets. At the center stood a grand piano, its keys moving as if played by invisible hands. A mirror above the fireplace reflected not their images, but scenes from a bygone era, dancers twirling in opulent attire, laughter echoing from unseen mouths. Suddenly, the door slammed shut, trapping them inside. The temperature dropped, and whispers filled the air, unintelligible yet filled with malice. Shadows stretched and twisted, forming figures that reached out with elongated fingers. Panic set in as the friends realized they were not alone. The manor was alive, feeding off their fear. Sarah screamed as a shadow enveloped her, leaving behind only a chilling silence. Desperate to escape, Lena recalled the legends of a diary hidden within the manor, containing the key to breaking the curse. They split up to search, each corridor more treacherous than the last. Jack found the diary in a decaying library, its pages filled with the ramblings of a madman who once owned the manor. He spoke of summoning spirits, of binding souls to the house to achieve immortality. With the diary in hand, they performed the ritual described within, chanting incantations that made the very walls tremble. The shadows shrieked, retreating into the darkness as light filled the room. The door creaked open, revealing the stormy night outside. Without looking back, the survivors fled, the manor's wails echoing behind them. Though they escaped, the experience left scars. Nightmares plagued their sleep, and whispers haunted their waking hours. The manor stood silent once more, waiting for its next visitors. As weeks passed since the escape from Blackwood Manor, Lena couldn't shake the feeling that something had followed them. Her dreams were vivid and cold, always the same hallway, always the same shadow just out of reach. She'd wake up gasping, hearing piano notes fading into silence. Jack had grown quiet. Withdrawn. He rarely left his apartment, and when he did, he kept glancing behind him, muttering under his breath. Sarah had been lost to the house, or so they thought. Until one night, Lena received a voicemail. It was from Sarah's number. But it wasn't her voice. It was laughing. Wet, distorted, echoing as if from a well deep underground. Then the sound of dragging chains, and a whisper, "Come back." Lena and Tom had no choice. They returned to Jack's place to convince him to help them destroy the diary and put an end to whatever they'd awakened. But Jack was no longer alone. His apartment was filled with candles, markings on the walls in a language none of them knew, and in the middle of it all, the piano from the manor. "How did you?" Lena started, but Jack's eyes were black, hollow pits. "The house is here now. It's everywhere." Suddenly, the floor split open. The walls of the apartment warped, twisted, and the room transformed into the grand hallway of Blackwood Manor. They hadn't come back. It had come for them. Tom was pulled into the floor, his screams muffled by the wood reforming over him. Lena fled down the endless corridor, now chased by echoes of her friends, all calling her name in voices not their own. She reached the attic, a place they hadn't explored before. There she found portraits, hundreds of them, each showing a different visitor of the manor, all with eyes scratched out, except one. Sarah. Still alive. Trapped. In the painting. Lena reached out to touch it, and suddenly, she was inside. A canvas world. Colors and shadows moved like smoke, and Sarah stood at the far end, silent. They need one more soul, she said softly. Then it will be free. The shadows closed in. Lena turned to run, but realized the trap. The house didn't just feed on fear. It fed on stories. Tragedies. Choices. And sacrifices. And someone had to stay behind. In one final scream of defiance, Lena tore the painting from the frame and burned it using a candle she had hidden in her coat. The canvas flared bright. The house shrieked. Windows shattered. Paintings fell. The curse cracked. And then, silence. Lena woke up in a hospital bed. Burned, bruised, but alive. Sarah sat beside her. Real. Free. But on the nightstand sat an envelope. No name. Inside was a single piece of parchment, "We remember you." And from the hallway, faintly, piano music began to play once more.